to the
Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? This is the Front Door Show. We do this every day, 8 o'clock, brought to you by Four Fantastic Events and DJ Prieto. And right now, we have my guests today, the Bravo Brothers. Hey, how you doing? This is the Front Door Show. We do this.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Wait, that's
right. Yeah, we're doing, I know we got a bit of a delay, but we wanted to do this for you. And we thought about it, and we're like, you know what? Let's do this.
We gotta do it. We gotta do it.
What?
Angelo DJ Prieto, yes, will be. He does this every night at 8 p.m. And he'll be having 50 cents. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's give it up for DJ Angelo
Prieto. We might get sued by Johnny Carson, so be careful with that.
Oh, shit. I bet.
So that's all good. So as I tell everyone, in the industry and stuff like that, I always ask the question, how did you guys get started? Let's talk about that. What's you know?
First of all, we got started in between playing in our parents' band to cassette decks, believe it or not. We started doing DJing out of cassettes. We had a whole bunch of cassettes, all kind of groups. Back then it was gruperos.
Okay.
Did, you know, we'll do like little, like the rest, the small set mixing with the tape decks. Back then we had a tape deck that had a pitch control also.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I think it was a Pioneer or Sony. I think it was a Sony brand. So that's the first time we've learned how to control our pitch with the cassette and stuff. So that's how we were introduced to that. You know, the love of music been in the family forever. You know, all of our family love music, and our parents introduced us so much to loving the music and everything. So it's like, that's how basically. Yeah. And then you could say after that, we did security. A lot of people knew us as security guards and stuff. And you know, we worked at Los Globos, and we DJ Mago, Oscar Davila. I don't know if you remember.
Yep.
There for the first time, and basically, you know, it caught our attention the way he was so-called doing sonidero, but he was actually mixing music. And that was badass. We thought it was good.
For him, it was Manuel Thompson. He was one of the old DJs from Wojo. He did a segment on radio, Bonitas y Pegaditas, but he threw in mixes that it took him hours to do, or even days to do, a 15-minute set. And he'll tell us, no, man, that mix took me like 3 days to do. But back then, how you gonna do blends or how you gonna mix? So he taught us how he did it on computer. I'm like, really? So then that's when after him, it was another inspiration for us. Then it was Oscar. When we heard the idea, like, this is the same kind of style that we're trying to create, and we thought that we were the only ones. And that's when we met Oscar too. Oscar was one of the guys that, you know, we got together with him, and we showed him what we were capable of doing, and he liked our style too. So that's one of the things that they gave us the motivation to keep on going where we're going to go with it.
So you were at Los Globos during this whole time?
Yeah.
Okay, and who was it? Was it Adam, or was it Who was who was running it at the time?
Was there and his other brother, I forgot his name. The one with the glasses.
Okay.
I forgot.
Right. That's what and that's on 31st and Central Park, right? That's the
Yeah, that
one.
was
Right.
31st Central. Yeah,
And
they're
they're
still there.
I know they're still there. They still do their events and their bandas and norteñas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's the only one left in Chicago per se of that does that
Yeah.
Yeah,
regional Mexican stuff. You know, that's what I know. I know Ivan still does events there as well. So
yeah. It's like it introduced us to, the way Oscar was mixing, and for us, we're like, we want to get there. We want to do more. We want to try to do what he's doing.
but what kind of music was Oscar doing?
And then he actually did a set of Spanish pop
Okay.
set and a rock set. He did a rock set. We heard him do a rock set. We're like, oh,
But what kind of music were you guys when you first started? Was it just the regional Mexican stuff that you were doing, and then you went into the just hearing Oscar do the rock stuff, or was it?
Well, my first, I started first in him. Believe it or not, I first started listening house and free stuff. Well, I never got really involved until the pop rock and Espanol started. So you can say that's when it took off. I heard Oscar, I heard mixed on radio, and one day I said, I want to be just like that guy. And believe it or not, I heard Dinamico, David. So pretty much with that in mind, Oscar said, let me introduce you to one guy, Dinamico. I'm like, Dinamico? And I was so excited because I listened to him every Saturday nights. And there was a show on Woho, and every Friday, Saturday night, I would record it. Put a recorder, record the guys, from BMX, listen to those guys mix. But I never got just the mixes itself, just the music. But I never got to involve that of a house. But I listened to those guys. But I listened to the mixes, the blending and all that stuff.
And you could just say, with him recording the music, what we did as a team, because we've always been together, we would go out and search for that music. Okay, we got to find this track. What's the name of this track? Or where can we get this track? And stuff. We went searching on our own. Yeah. We started building our music, basically. And then you could say, me, personally, I pop, Spanish rock. I actually moved on and I did the Spanish regional. Also, being part of the radio station, when we heard the stereo mixes back then, when it was Wojo, it was the stereo mixes. Nobody really played the Spanish regional. So I ended up regional style, the banda norteñas, even both of us did cumbias and stuff. And he did a lot of the tropical. He did the merengue, bachata, and salsa. That was all him right there.
Yeah, and pop rock. And you could say we stood out of the rest of the DJs that were a stereo mix because everybody did pop. And they did it different way. And then you had like five guys. We were like the Hot Mix 5 and back then.
The Hot Mix 5 of Wojo?
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically, yeah.
Basically it, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And then pretty much they said, well, let's be something unique out of them. Let's go out of our comfort zone. That's what we came out to be. And luckily, I could say, I don't want to be first ones to actually play outside the box. We thought outside the box, playing norteño mix, playing people cut out until one day the promoter.
What and I don't mean to cut you guys off, but what year would this have been that you guys were doing this at Wojo? Do you remember about the year that you guys were doing this?
92.
About 93, 94, around that time. Yeah.
Okay.
It was about 90. Yeah, it was extended mixes, and then they switched over to to Sábados de Reventón.
Okay.
It switched over. Yeah, it switched over to Sábados de Reventón. And when they switched the name over, that's when we decided, you know what, let's be different. Like René said, think outside the box instead of Spanish pop, Spanish dance, and stuff. So we ended up doing the Spanish regional. René did the merengue, and cumbia we both did also back then. And we're being part of the Sábado de Reventón, and that was with Vince Vasquez. Vince was the producer of that show back then. So it was like, we'll turn in our mixes, and like, if he didn't like it, do it again.
Do it again.
Do it
Do it
again.
again.
Yeah.
All right. And then that was in 93. Wait, I mean, it was progressed to 93, 94 because
Yeah. Correct. We stood under, I
they
think.
changed over.
To,
Yeah.
And then- So but I also remember you guys were doing bouncing as well, right? Were you doing that at the same time, doing the bouncing? Doing the security?
Yep.
Yeah, we were doing both of them at the same time. We were doing our mixes and doing security on the side because we weren't getting paid, to be on radio. So we still got to make our money on the side.
Right, and that was security for the air gun and the
The air gun. Okay, the Tropicana de Caché.
okay,
Oh, they used to have the upstairs. They had Palladium when Rocco Mix was playing.
okay,
So we got to do security there also, and then you could stay hearing Rocco Mix back in the day, right? And that time it's like that kind of mixing too. That also like build us up, build their inspiration. Yeah, to do listening to Rocco Mix and the way he blended his loop, man, they were crazy. I think he was using an MTX mixer that had that auto loop on it that you record a sampler and it'll like loop it for you. I'm like, oh damn! We actually bought that freaking mixer. We have it, I think, at my mom's place, man. You could say we wanted it to be like that.
We wanted to.
Our first set, for us, a brand new mixer, and we felt badasses. We bought it at a freaking Guitar Center.
No,
Yeah, Radio Shack. Maurice King was working at Radio Shack, and he was here walking the door. Oh, great, the Bravo brothers are here.
Yeah, everybody knows us at the Bravos.
Yeah, so he knew that we were there to buy some new equipment. But for us, getting our brand a mixer from Radio Shack with the freaking voice changer, sound effects, that was for us like, yeah, now we're getting professional.
Yeah.
But with what everybody else is using.
Yeah, everybody was using the same thing.
Yeah, everybody using the Dannon 2500s. Back in the day when it was the 2500s, or there was the Geminis we used. Some old school Geminis that we had too.
Yeah.
okay. So you're doing security, and you're turning into music for Wojo and stuff like that. So, and then this is all about 94. So what happens after that? What happens with you guys as far as the progression of where you go from this?
We met Dinamico. We started easing away. We're doing the mobile gigs. We went to Tequilas, met Dinamico for the first time at Tequilas.
And then he introduced us to Vince.
Yeah, he introduced us to Vince Vasquez, and then from there, that's what we got on. We were part of the radio. And you can say, from there, I think we met you, or you met us through Orbit. Orbit back at Milwaukee.
Right. So I am thinking that you guys probably, where I met you guys is probably the more or less how I got most of my DJs is when I had the open DJ night. Is that?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's how I usually got a lot of the guys, because I would do just in case anybody doesn't know what the open DJ night is, that I would invite DJs.
That's
It
true.
would be open format. I don't care what you played. And this is at the time when I was doing Palladium. I took over Rocco Mix, and I was doing Palladium, and I created Los Cuatro Fantásticos.
Yep.
And I remember we were always like coming up with new ideas, new concept. And one of them we said is open DJ night. And honestly, that's how we got a lot of the guys that work for, still friends today, and Dynamico was one who jumped on as well. I know Victor Salazar was one. There was so many people that I says, Mr. Wonderful, House DJ and stuff like that. Fuego. And I could have swore that's how I met you guys because you guys wanted to, and obviously I think you guys were playing the Spanish rock and the cumbias and norteñas. The two people on our team, on the four guys, were DJ Dracula, Alex Perez, and Viento, Tom. So I would ask them, hey, what do you think? And because they were the guys who played that the most and stuff like that. And most of them say, yeah, these guys are pretty good, give them a chance and so forth. So I think that's how we kind of got you guys on board, rotating with us on, because the 4 turned into, I think, 16. It was like, it developed more and more because we kept inviting more people in, and you were one of the guys I know. And then sometimes, I think what happened is that you guys were sometimes working as security anyway there. So we were just kind of like, well, if we ever need a backup, we have it in house. So
yeah, you got us, yeah.
So I on top of the other factors of like security personally for us as well. So.
Well, I won't forget one of the times when we were doing PM and it was this guy DJ Screen, his birthday, and so you remember what happened at the end of the night where I had to carry him, threw him over my shoulder, and we walked Screen. And I think he did,
He puked.
He puked on my shoulder.
You hear that, Lalo?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we were there to back you guys up no matter what, whatever would end up happening, we were there because, we were trained for that stuff. We were trained for that stuff like that.
Oh, I know. I have some stories that I remember you watching over us and stuff like that. I mean, we didn't have ever a really bad crowd and stuff like that.
No.
Whenever there's alcohol, there's people, do some stupid shit. That's just the way it is, I remember we used to kick out people and they would come back the next week, apologize, and we would be like, okay, don't do something stupid again. Just different things that the people would do, they get stupid and they do some stupid shit. It wasn't something terrible. It was just something that, you're not supposed to walk in the girls' bathroom. What are you doing? I thought it said woman and I really read men, like stupid shit like that. I just I'm giving an example. And I know that's what we never had a really bad crowd. It was actually, and this is, and we're talking about Palladium days, because I remember there was Palladium days and there was Club PM days.
Yes.
And I think at Palladium days, that was what it was. It was Palladium upstairs, and at the time it was Tropicana downstairs.
Yeah.
They were doing the salsa. I think I had already created Tuesday Night Boxing at Tropicana, the Tuesday Night Boxing. And the boxing aspect of it, I had created before Palladium. And I think it was in the transition of where we were in our maybe fourth year of boxing. And then that's when I was asked to go upstairs to Palladium. And I think Convent just opened up as well. If that was Convent had just opened up. And I know our competition was Tequilas as well. There was Tequilas as well.
Yeah.
Down the street. And then Orbit was another place. And I think it was only because the Orbit, because we were dealing with 18 and over crowd. And
Yeah.
I knew that was the 18 and over crowd, and we were always focusing on how can we get the 18 and over crowd, because Convent was 21 and over. So I wasn't worried about it. We were just worried, concentrating on the 18 and over crowd. But I know that we were always interested in the fact that our clientele was a lot of Mexicans. That was the clientele that was
Yeah.
a lot of Mexicans. And we would get the people from the south side, people from the suburbs. And it was, and if I'm not mistaken, we were open to 4 o'clock in the morning, right? 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Five.
I think
was,
Friday was like at 4,
Saturday.
and
was five.
Saturdays to like 5. Yeah.
Right.
So we were,
So
I still remember that we would go to IHOP and eat breakfast, and it was like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning.
yeah,
We're
that
out
was,
there with all the guys.
International House of Prieto, as we all said it.
Oh, my bad. Wait a minute. First, forget about that.
Yeah, that was,
Yeah, and of course,
just,
half of us were like, a little tipsy going there, and some of us were falling asleep all the time. Also,
Yeah.
well, I just let you know that Dynamico's online saying hello, guys, and Louis.
Hey, what's up,
what's up, Dynamico?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up to
Yeah,
you,
thank
Dynamico. Thank you. Yeah, one of our guys that inspired us and has helped us mix, man.
Yeah.
Dynamico, when our first mixes were helped, he helped us actually produce them.
Yeah.
And then basically he'll tell us also if they weren't too good, he'll tell us do it again or try this, blend it this way. He basically he kicked us in the ass also.
He was our mentor.
Our teacher basically, yeah.
Teacher.
Yeah, he was our teacher, man.
And then he'll tell us, listen how this goes in, listen how. I didn't get it at first because I was used to mixing tropical. And then people would tell me, how do you mix tropical in that house? I don't know. And then the house teacher didn't know how to mix tropical. They don't mix house.
Yeah, it's got it backwards.
Yeah, so I
It's
picked it up.
like-
I picked it up quick. I did pick it up quick, and then use that in my mind when I was doing like the banda quebradita stuff.
Well, I mean, let's be honest with you. I mean, I've mixed banda and gabarita, and that's in itself is tough as well, because there's not a lot of breaks in those.
No.
There's not. If anybody knows, man, that is a tricky music to mix. It's like, I mean, in other words, you have to really know the songs, where to put it in. It isn't like, where Spanish rock will have the breakdown and break out, and La Merengue will have this, in some songs, this is like there may be a spot in the song.
Yeah. And then like for us, we weren't using back then those new with the intros and outros. We would use the original stuff, and like you said, there might be a little break right there that you could blend it in quickly, or maybe just slam it in at a good spot.
Right.
And that's what we would do. When we got our computer, we started doing our own introduction, our own breaks to our music, and everything like that.
That was the only way.
We had to find a way so we could do it better. We did. We did find our way.
One of the things that kind of I remembered, and Ricky Ojita was saying, I know you do your loops. Because one time when I first met, I went upstairs and I just looked at it. Here it is. All that for what? For my loops, and then he'll do it live. I'm like, oh shit! I was impressed. Ricky Ojita. I mean, that guy taught me some stuff that. Watch here, listen here. This is good. This is good. I'm like, okay. He was another inspiration for me too, Ricky, because he did merengue, and I did merengue too. All these guys say that when they came to, when we were at Club. Together. All the house DJs stuck together. Anybody that did something different, times that we were sticking together, it was Ricky, myself, we were downstairs in the basement. And then we came up to the room. All the rest of the guys were there. They did pop, they did house, they did all that stuff. The dance, and then you have Fuego in one little corner doing his rock sets.
No, that back room with that Fuego had, I remember we put a table. That was we used that for the wall, right? A table one time?
No, that was you talk about the dirty warm room?
Yeah, that was.
The dirty warm room. That was one of the concepts and stuff like that. I think because it was a matter of people wanted more Spanish rock, and I remember, and we had the Los Club Caifanes. You remember that those are the guys. We had that.
Yeah.
We had just people who wanted Spanish rock, and we couldn't play Spanish rock all night because there was a variety of music being played, and there was in the basement and I remember the rock people wanted like their own thing, and remember I says, well, why don't we bring in some local bands? And I remember we were like, and the local bands were sometimes 4-piece bands, 4-piece, 3-piece, 4-piece, sometimes 5-piece, but it wasn't big bands or anything like that. And I remember saying, well, we can make this little section of this as the rock room. And I remember it was like, but how are we going to separate the music? And I was like, no, man, we'll put speakers right before, they when they come in. He goes, obviously you're standing right there in between the two rooms. You're going to hear it. But I says, this music's blasting. I go, in this room, the acoustics, if you put the speakers in here and face it in the room, you're not going to hear the music. You're going to hear the rock room, especially if they're live music and stuff like that. And I remember we tried it and it worked. I mean, we had to tweak a little bit here and there, but for all purposes, I remember it was, that bar was packed all the time. So,
yeah.
So I forgot the little bartender's name, but he was always.
Chaparro. We need Chaparro.
Chaparro.
Many cucarachas shots later.
Oh, God, the cucaracha shot.
The cucarachas and the
Damn.
Long Islands.
The cucarachas and the Long Islands, he would hook it up.
No.
And then it's like, he loved that room because he was into that Spanish rock. And he'll do the rock, when you do the rock urbano, it's like the rock urbano, it's like, what's the name? Lili and Roll. Who was it in there? El Aragon. That stuff. Oh, the dude loved it, that Chaparro. And now that you mentioned about the sound system, that was our sound system that we brought for that room. Right. Our speakers on stands. Right. We had our sounds. And then so one day we were telling, Fuego, dude, relax on the sound, man. No, but it sounds good. You have to crack our speakers, dude. Come on. Those are our speakers, man. Jeez, we're always on his ass. I remember that. Always on his butt on that stuff. But being there at 3 p.m., to me, it's like we learned so much of the music, being even more versatile. Especially being versatile, because there was time that some people, I won't mention, to the point that they can't finish off the night. So somebody else had to cover for them or finish off the night. I remember there was one night that you came in. I know I was mixing and goes, where's everybody else? They're in that one room. You see them all laid out in the benches. My brother, and I won't name the other two guys, but I know he was one of them.
Always blaming me. Always blaming me.
But, back in the day, you remember Rene was like the host, and he would start off the party for anybody that once they'll come in. And to be him, he did your list for a good while, your email listing and everything.
Right.
And he was your photographer.
I still got the pictures. Have you ever won them? I still got them.
Yeah, we still got a hard drive here.
Please, dude, that's you won't believe how much these pictures are valuable now, because a lot of just for archive aspects of it and stuff like that. I don't know if you know this, but I know you agreed to do the show, but all these shows that I'm doing are for the purpose of putting it in an archive so that we can have this for the rest of the history of the music and what's going on. And that's why, If you guys don't know about the Front Door Show, and I know you guys have watched it, but just in case there's new people watching it, the reason why we're doing this is because, you know, even though these guys can be playing, or anybody playing on the turntables for their hour and a half, 2 hours doing that, some people don't know why and how you got here. And, you know, we want to make sure that people know that, you know, the history of everybody in this music industry. And I think that's the one thing, I don't think that nobody's ever done it in this aspect of with everybody across the board that I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, I don't know if you've seen the lineup, but, you know, it's just not DJs that I'm doing. I'm doing promoters, I'm doing, you know, dancers, I'm doing artists, I'm doing everybody. So, because this is kind of makes up the whole thing of Chicago per se. And Chicago, and that's why I'm doing it with every genre of music. Being a Latin DJ, being a house DJ, being a bachata DJ, you know, and that's the DJ part of it. But, you know, even the guys that you know, I got coming up with Gringo, was part of the imported tastes, and you know, I got Radar from the Colitos. He's going to be on the show. So just you know, but those namesakes are important in Chicago, because we can all say, you know, and mind you, and you, since you mentioned about the Hot Mix 5. So since you guys were DJing 92, 93, the Hot Mix 5 was already established here in Chicago, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that was your kind of your basis of what, okay, this is what the Hot Mix 5 did. And I think that's important that, you know, we know everybody's history and what brought them to become, okay, well, you know, this the Hot Mix 5 did it. Well, let me do it in the regional Mexican. Let me do it in the Spanish rock aspect of it and stuff like that. And I think that's important that we talk about it and we let people know and stuff like that. So I mean, not to take away from you guys, but I just wanted to let, it's very important.
No,
and that's why I say, like, those pictures that you have, please, please, it's important, because, you know, those are archived. You know, it's unfortunate, you know, and I feel really bad, because I am very guilty of it. 1981, I had the biggest breakdancing group here in Chicago, and all this video and all these pictures, they're not to be found. And it's just sad, because, you know, everybody keeps asking me, man, where's the video? Where's the video? And no excuses now, because it's all digital and stuff like that. But back, all these home movies that we recorded over, and that's it. You know, I'm thankful that, you know, anything you have, please post it, send it, do whatever, you know, because we need that. We need those pictures. And I probably there's.
I know there's we still, I don't know, in the MySpace back then, we were always pushing and promoting in MySpace. I know there's still pictures there. I think there's still some pictures there from back in the PM days.
If you got the link, please put it on the video, and I'll grab them from there, and I'll do the work and stuff like that.
I just got to see if we got access to our profiles, because we haven't been on there in years.
Sí, que it's an old computer. I just have to hook up the old computer.
So was that MySpace? When did you have MySpace? Was that during the time Palladium days?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So I mean, I had MySpace, Mi Gente. That was the other one that
I remember that.
Yeah, Mi Gente. I even and I was even you know, because I was doing promotion. I was doing promotion on Black Planet and Asian Elements. Those are all the, you know, I was making sure that I hit everybody as far as marketing. So here we are at Club PM. We have the 3 rooms. They're going on at the same time. Technically 4 rooms, but 3 rooms. And then what happens after that with you guys?
Well, yeah, after that, that's when I know you told us that they're gonna, before Volcan, we also did a little, that was after. So yeah, we helped you out to do the reopening of Mario's, but you ended up changing the name to Volcan.
No,
Correct.
somebody did Volcan.
Yeah.
And
And
then
that's what you, in a way, you taught us on how to do good promotion, because we did the footwork with you. We were at Plaza Garibaldi that one afternoon with the stack of flyers, giving it to everybody coming out of the plaza. And then we ended up going down all 26th Street, dropped off as many flyers as we can and stuff too, so we could do, the grand opening of Volcan. So you could say you helped us get more of that knowledge of promoting and pushing,
and thank you.
And we thank you for that. Thank you for that, because where we're at now with the Ace of Clubs, we remember what you give us, that knowledge of promoting, pushing it, the wording, and everything like that. And we try to promote ourselves. But then you could say, yeah, the PM was about to close. We were getting ready for Volcan back then, and you had us do it, because I think you trusted us to start Volcan at that place, and you were going to get some of the guys from Volcan to PM. Also, that was your plan to do that.
Right. I think what happened was, it wasn't so much that if you remember, I was also promoting at any festival that was out there. So I think you guys were, because, and I had to play this smart, because you guys spoke Spanish and you knew the Mexican community. That's why I had you guys go to PM, because I think I went downtown and I was doing the promotion downtown and stuff like that, where the non-Spanish speaking people and stuff like that wouldn't make sense. I'm there in front of a Plaza Garibaldi passing out flyers for Volcan, and I can't communicate as like you guys could, because you guys speak Spanish and I don't. And then I think that weekend was also, I think it was Memorial Day weekend, if I'm not mistaken. It was Memorial Day weekend. That's why it was a big Monday night thing. Memorial Day. I think that was that Monday, and I believe it was also, I was at maybe at Humboldt Park.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Veterans, night. So and to this day, I don't know if you know this, but I still go out there and pass out flyers. I'm at the Cuban Fest. Anybody knows that at Cuban Fest, you walk in the door, the first person you see is me passing out flyers. And I'm always there. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'm there all day, still passing out flyers. So that hasn't changed. I don't stop passing out flyers. I don't care how big my Facebook page and how big my email list is. I'm still doing exactly the same things. I still make my, 5,000 flyers to 10,000 flyers every month. That doesn't change, except right now, obviously. But that's never changed with me. I don't stop doing what I did, man. It just, people call it old school. You know what? I call it having that personal contact with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I appreciate you guys, telling me that taught you guys.
Yeah.
So we're at Volcan, and I believe it was 2004. No. I think that was 2002. 2002 we went there, and we lasted into 2005. That was a 3-year period.
3 years, yeah.
It was a
And then
3-year.
there's like, and then I can say we did a little bit, like Rene mentioned. We went to Hacienda Tecalitlán with Eclipse. Eclipse was there because I remember Eclipse was there at Hacienda Tecalitlán for a little bit, and we helped them out at Hacienda. But then at Volcan, after we left Volcan, well, we ended up staying at Volcan because on Sunday nights they had all the Spanish regional bandas and stuff. I ended up DJing. He had that home to himself. That the group sucked. They had a live banda. It didn't do too good. He had all the crowd upstairs, and all the paisas are up there dancing reggaeton, bachata, merengue, and it was funny.
It was funny. Yeah, you see a whole bunch of guys with cowboy hats.
Yeah, they're up there, cowboy hats, and Renee's up there. They're dancing away. And then they're telling me, play something. I'm like, you told me not to play what he's playing up there. I can't do that. I'm playing what's for the crowd down here, and that's it. So it's like we were competing against each other, basically, me and Rene in Volcan. After you left, the V5 took over, and stuff like that. You know, we did participate with them a little bit, but once they came out telling us, oh, play this at this time, this at this and this, I'm like, why?
No.
Why are you gonna control what I want to play? And
That's,
like, nah, with you, it was always fun to do because
yep.
you guys do what you want, basically.
It's your
As long as
thing,
the
it's
crowd's
your-
fun.
That's the one thing about us, that we're creative in our own way, and I guess that makes us unique among the rest of the DJs. That we're very versatile and we're unique. We come up with some weird stuff, like right now, like the Johnny Carson.
Your introduction.
Your introduction. I'm like, I told him, you know what? This sounds like Johnny Carson now. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's play along. Let the plays along with us. So something like that out of the blue, me and him, we brainstorm together and we create something unique.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's something that we always had. You know, and then even in our mixes, he's doing that. I criticize him. He'll criticize me. Why don't you do it this way? No, why don't you do it? So two heads work together, and then if you have a family that thinks together, believes in it, it works better.
Yeah.
The Cuatro worked very fine because you had us all together, all united, but everybody had to go their own ways, of course.
And
But
everybody had their own style among the guys.
everybody.
And
had-
then we all did work out good together, all of us.
yeah.
You know, when we were transitioning from one DJ to another DJ, we helped out each other. It's, you know, I heard the stories between Fantasma and Marshall Sombra about the short, ugly intro that he had, you know, and try to transition to play. You know, remember, that's always been that story. But we always felt, hey, it's a challenge. You
It's
know,
a challenge.
challenge yourself. You have to try to blend in. You transition to what you can.
And like one time you challenged me in a bachata song. Goes, go ahead, blend it in. Blend it in. I dare you. And then you challenged me. And he goes, see, let's see how good are you. You challenged me. And I took the challenge right there live when I was mixing.
Yeah.
So I took a challenge. It was something of learning experience for me. Now, we keep our criticism, our
Constructive criticism.
on our own, and then we tell each other, hey, did you hear this guy? Did this? This guy could have done a little bit better. So we criticize each other a lot. And today we do it.
So after you guys left Volcan, where did you guys end up going after that?
Haciendas.
We did Hacienda for a little bit. Yeah. We did Haciendas, and then from there we went to Mi Tierra restaurant right in front of Volcan. And then
Okay.
basically, we knew the owners knew our parents, because my parents used to sing for them back in the day. And it's like you're looking at mid 80s and stuff. And so we went there. They still remembered us. That shocked us. That's the thing that shocked us. They still remembered us. And for them, it was the first time they were actually going to try to have DJs in
Yes,
Tierra. They'd never had DJs there before,
So
you know. And so you could say that we were there. We stood at Mi Tierra for almost 10 years.
Wow.
At Mi Tierra. And so you could say, but being there has taught us to be more family environment. You know, the music we played, we play music for not only the adults, but we had to do something to contribute for the kids, because there was always a family environment there. You know, even though, yeah, we'll throw in the hot dance music, mainstream dance stuff for them at Mi Tierra, but you kind of figure, wait a minute, you're at a Mexican restaurant, you're going to think you're going to hear all Spanish regional or mariachi music all the time. No, we ended up playing everything. And the people kept coming back. They kept coming back. They kept coming back. And then that taught us to be even more versatile. Our transitioning, we had to transition one time from banda to dance music, and people were like, oh damn, oh damn, you know, but they kept dancing. They just kept dancing. They kept dancing. And the only time they cut us off at Mi Tierra to take a 5-minute break, because, you know, we would do nonstop music, 5-6 hours, remember? Back then. The only time they'll tell playing music to rest because they had to try to rotate the people to come in and out, clear out tables. That was the only time
People didn't want to go out.
they didn't want to leave.
They didn't want to leave
Nope.
because they knew the night was still young, and we'll say to them, well, I hope you guys have a good time. We threw
Like,
everything.
what about, so what time did, when you guys were doing that format or doing Mi Tierra, what time did you guys schedule, were you scheduled to start playing?
10 o'clock at night, from 10 o'clock to closing. So it was like 4 hour, no, 10, 11, 12, 1. Like, yeah, maybe 4.5 hours of pure party.
Okay, so what time was it that they told you to like take the break? What time, about what time would that be?
2 hours within already.
With the
Because there were some tables you could say they were there from 8 o'clock. They had their dinner, but they didn't want to leave because they knew the party started at 10.
Okay,
Yeah, they
right,
knew
right,
that.
right. Okay, that's what I was kind of trying to figure out
Yeah.
where there was the, not at 12 o'clock high time, but you know. a
Oh,
little
no,
early.
no.
All right.
The party
makes
started
sense.
right at 10. People knew that we started at 10. And then you could say it went 4 hours, but when they knew they had all they really wanted to be there is the party, the dance.
Right,
That's
right.
when they tell us, guys, take a 15-minute break.
And that was every Friday and Saturday? Is that what you guys were doing?
Pardon me?
Every Friday and Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right,
and then
so-
you can see. Go ahead.
You were saying that then that's on Mi Tierra, so where it happened after that? Were you guys still, I mean, for 10 years you were there and only there? That's all you were doing at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we did. It's like Mi Tierra, we did our mobile gigs, you know, thank God, you know, our mobile gigs, they're not as steady, but you could say we get our mobile gigs when we can. You know, we started doing video mixing a lot more and stuff like that, video editing and everything. And you could say after Mi Tierra, you know, they closed down for that like a year, and they reopened again with the new ownership. But the new ownership just didn't want to pay. They didn't want to pay for 2 DJs and stuff like that. And you could say that gave Renee the opportunity to. He was by himself for like a year.
Yeah.
And during that time period, you could say, we told him, hey, you got to pay for 2 of us, not 1. They didn't want. They closed with the new owners and everything like that. But they were, you know, they were cheap. The night, and they just told us from one weekend to another, they're like, hey, we don't need you guys.
Oh, wow.
Places that we've been to, it's not that we did better. We can't afford you guys no more. You guys gotta go.
Yeah.
Or you guys are not making it, you know, as we, you gotta go.
Yeah.
The other person. There's always been that change, and then for some they always want. I gave them what I could do, which was live video mixing, a variety of music, whatever the crowd wanted. I did my sets, I did my thing, and then I still had the people going, but still, you know, I brought him along, and then we were always a tag team, you could say. The battle roads together and all that. But there was always that little thing that for some reason or another, they either shut us down for some reason. And for one thing, I'm glad you're doing this because we never had that recognition. Up to now, I told Gabriel Ricky Rodriguez one thing. Everybody who doesn't know Rican, who doesn't know, uh, who doesn't know the top hit to be known, to go down in history, to be one of the DJs that did history. And I think we did history in our unique style, and nobody makes this the way we did. We still do our style. We do it differently than other DJs. And he told me, "You're already all right. You guys are it already." Who doesn't know the Bravos? Who doesn't know them? Even with some of the guys, some of those guys, Alex Pino, these guys, they listen to us, and I guess we inspire us to mix, not to just play one song after another song, because that was the sonidero style. See, they'll talk to the mic, they'll send shout outs to everybody, and that's a sonidero style. I grab their music, okay, let me mix around with this. I could blend this within a 15-minute set. That's how I got involved with the sonidero music. And no DJ, well, they're afraid. They started, now you look it up on YouTube, everybody's doing cumbia mixes or cumbia mixes. They finally got the ball things, but I want to say that me and my brother were one of the first ones in Chicago to enjoy the night.
Yeah.
What really get to us is not us, the people dancing and just a full crowd. You taught us one thing: if the crowd's there, your floor is gonna be packed, no matter what. If you kind of suck, your floor is not gonna be packed. You're doing something wrong that the crowd's not there to dance. That's one thing I learned from you, Reto. And that's another thing that inspires me. If my crowd is not dancing to the floor, something's wrong. It's either I'm giving the vibe, my vibe is not there, I'm not there, I'm throwing it up, I'm throwing it down, or something like that. There's something going on there. I'm not doing something right. And then now we just live stream. That's all we do. The people watch us, okay. If they don't, they don't. You know?
Well, you could say after we were done with Mi Tierra, I think we were out for about a year. A year we didn't do much, and then I was confronted. My brother was first confronted by Sam Gamboa, the Smooth Smoking Sam.
Yeah.
And you could say, my brother told me about it, and I'm like, all right, cool. You know, let's set up a day. If he wants us to go mix somewhere, we're fine. And he said, you've heard of us. He's gone to Mi Tierra, and that's where he heard us there from. And you could say now we're part of that team known as the Ace Club DJs, and we're basically a group of DJs helping each other out. You know, some of the DJs you may not have heard of them: Tunes, Voodoo, Alex, which is DJ Lex, a couple other guys. My mind's going blank right now, but you could say some of these guys, they're good.
I don't rock and
yeah. You know, they're really good, and then we help out each other. You know, we criticize each other how we did, but it's like there's so much competition right now among crews.
That's what right now. That's what it's in.
Yeah, it's a crew thing right now. It's like you got
cutting crew.
You got this
Riot.
crew that's doing all new wave and stuff like that. Us, we're just trying to keep our group together, like the way you had it. You know, have the group of DJs together. You know, we're trying to, you know, club scene is hard right now, but you know, we're getting. We had this place. They got a place on Pulaski and 82nd, Groucho's, but they're gonna change the name to it and stuff. And you can say it's just this group of guys, DJs. We're there to help out each other. We're there to be with. Love that we have, in like a brotherhood that we have. They're
Right.
noticing that and stuff. And we're telling them, hey, we're not being selfish. We're not gonna be saying, hey, I'm the best. No. Like you, I'm a DJ. I'm learning, and I'm trying to get myself known again or bring myself up. Yeah, and that's all we're doing right now with the Ace of Clubs. They're just there we're helping out each other. Basically, we are helping out each other. And then you can say
Well,
that what you taught us about the promoting. That's what we use that knowledge right now with this crew that we're with and stuff.
well, you mentioned about Sam Gamboa. Sam's been a DJ for a long time. He's been
Yes.
for a long time. Are you aware that he's my son's uncle? That's my
No.
my son. That's my son's uncle. Yeah, that's
Oh,
my son Christian.
small world.
That's his, yeah.
Wow.
That's yeah. So
That's a very small world.
yeah. So
Wow.
I've known Sam quite a long time. Yes, I've known him for a long time. But like I said, I know that, I mean, but he's one of the old school DJs and stuff. I call him the old school DJs because he was big in the house music and doing in the house. And I know that generally what happens is, like, if you ever see it, the other shows, if the other guys being the guys that have been doing this for a long time as far as house DJs. I know Pablo Punk Out Gonzalez, part of the whole, the cutting crew, as you say, and stuff like that. I think all of us are basically in that kind of same boat where we're trying to, the alternative guys, I kind of try to get it out there. It's a tricky situation between, because so many owners want a successful night, number one.
Oh, yeah.
Facebook out there sends people in 1,000 different ways into the city of Chicago, because everybody on Facebook is a promoter. That's the way it is. Everybody's like, hey, so when Facebook came around, we don't have the mega clubs anymore. There's the last of the 720 Club PM, Excalibur. That's it. It's done. Unless you have $6,000, DJ Tiesto, and he's gonna be, then you get the major clubs. But other than that, as far as like the local guys, whatever music it is, you're lucky if you attract 200, 300 people in a given night and stuff like that. It's just the way it is. And then, and then welcome to the lounges. That's what everybody goes to in this day and age now. And then you also have the live streaming. That's another factor. Yeah. People, somebody doesn't want to, minus the pandemic. This is before pandemic. The whole thing with live streaming, a lot of DJs are doing live streaming, and there's the audience right there, and they can do 2,000 people live streaming and stuff like that. So why go somewhere else if they can get them right there in their living room and stuff like that? Now, going fast forward, you guys were doing live streaming already, right? You guys were.
Yeah, we're doing that now. You can say I do it at my place. This is where I'm at.
Now, that's an important question to you. Because of the live streaming, and now that the pandemic hit and everybody's doing live streaming now, all the DJs doing live streaming, has that affected you guys as far as live streaming now? Has that taken away from anybody going to your page and seeing the live streaming? Or is Facebook knocking you out like everyone else does more so, or is it?
You could just say we've done live streaming so much that we already figured out what songs not to play.
Okay.
We're not. I know out there everybody's doing classic house. Everybody's doing freestyle. Everybody's out there doing house. Maybe you get a couple of them that get that deep house. I'm like, okay, you guys are playing that. Cool. I've done my stuff. I've done my sets of that kind of music, which, I love it. I don't mind it to me. But I'm like, you know what? Let's change it. Let's do some duranguense. Let's do some banda. Let's do some zapateado. The cumbia sonidera. I know Rene, that's what he does. He does that cumbia sonidera that you don't hear on the radio. But Rene, he's getting it and he's mixing it on his live feed. Me, it's like I try to do whatever I can with the Spanish regional also. But we're going outside the box. And does it take away from our audience? I want to say no, because we already have our audience. People already know us that will do that kind of a style of music, that kind of a mix and stuff. So it's like, for us, it's like, it doesn't really affect us. Maybe one day, which I actually did. I did a set of Spanish rock, and I put on Puto. You remember the Puto song? And I thought, okay, there, I'm gonna get blocked. No, that song stood on there. That song Puto stood on there. I'm like, oh hell yeah! And now I gotta throw Matador, the one where everybody used to mosh pit all the time. So I'm imagining in my head, okay, you're at your house, you're probably mosh pitting around your own table, stuff like that. But that's why, you know, when we're doing a live stream, something totally different. We already know Friday. Are you gonna say something?
Well, that was one thing, and then, like I said, they got out of the box. Well, why are you gonna go to Friday? I told him, I go, just do your mix, just let him play. You know, somehow no, someone's gonna give you a page. Yeah, one of my mixes recently that I did last week, 43 views, not bad. And I take that instead of
Right.
0 views.
Right.
You know, I take anything. I take anything.
Because it's like,
You know?
maybe not a lot of people will hear you right there in their live, but if you save whatever you mix that day, in the future, let it keep going.
Let it
You're
keep
gonna
going.
see how much views it builds up.
It blows up
Right,
later on.
right. Oh no, I know that. That's how this platform also works. So let's talk about the pandemic. Yeah. So.
Hey, Dad, what do you want to know?
We both got infected.
We both got infected. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, we both got infected. He got infected
Okay.
almost about the same time I did. I'm already past my 2-week quarantine already and stuff like that, but I still got to stay in quarantine according to the week because we have a sister that's a nurse, that's a sister nurse at St. Anthony's Hospital, and we thank her for her work, and she's there too, but also got infected and stuff. But she had told us that many of their coworkers say, or the doctors say, it's about a 21-day quarantine period. And it
Right.
stays in your system for about 3 months.
Right.
I just learned this.
That's what Louis Albert Morales was saying about the same thing. He got it as well. But you guys didn't end up going to the hospital, right? You guys didn't do
No.
the whole.
My wife did.
His wife did, yeah. And you could say,
She's still overnight.
yeah, our quarantine was basically the minor symptoms, you know, cold, headaches, the fever, a little bit of the cough, body aches. That's it.
Like a flu, basically.
Yeah,
Right? It's
basically like a
flu.
Yeah, and then of course the worst part is the first week you want to try your antojos, like they say, what you really wanted to eat. You want to try your tacos from a Totonico. You can't even taste the damn chile. So I'm like, "Frah, I hate this. You have no taste. You can't taste nothing." And so finally this week on my birthday, my girlfriend got me tacos again. And Lisa, I thank you for that because I finally got my taste buds again. And I was finally be able to taste again the tacos at Totonico. Oh my God. Thank you,
That's
Lisa.
gotta be. That's gonna be so weird. They're not. Non-tasting, and I guess that was like everybody talks about that. It's just like our food tastes terrible. Basically.
Yeah, I'll tell my girl, like, you know, at Totonico's on 26th Street was our favorite spot after we did Volcan. So we're all there, you know, that time even though we're buzzing, we're all having our tacos and still taste the flavor. But now with this COVID thing, it's like, crap, you can't taste anything. You cannot taste anything at all.
That was a place to be at the Nicholas on 26. Yeah, every DJ in the mother's
Showed up there.
showed up there. Hey, what's
But,
up? What's up?
But in you know, on the serious side, nobody is seriously ill on your family. Nobody got the good. Thank God. Because I know. I mean, I hear stories about like what's happened to you. Some people got the minor stuff. Some people, you know, I just seen somebody. You know, we see it all over the news. One of the guys. His cousin lost his both parents within hours of each other and stuff like that. So it just there's the extreme stories you hear, and there's the ones that kind of like you. It's just, well, you know what? It was like a flu. You know, it was,
Yeah. But thank
And
God, none of us, nobody in the
right.
He's
And you have older families that are by you, right? Older mom and dads, and you know, basically.
our dad passed away a year ago,
Okay, all right. Sorry
and my
to hear
mom
that.
passed away 5 years ago.
Okay,
You
so
remember
but
that.
nobody around. So you know, my mom passed away in November. I don't know if you heard that, but you know,
Yes.
I am so thankful that she wasn't here for this. You know, and I think in retrospect, because she was living in the care home, it was a assisted living home. She was
Yes.
an assisted living home over in Oak Park, and you know, I'm thankful that she went in peacefully, and she never got to experience this because I know for a fact she would have been one of those. And to see your loved ones suffer like that would be heartbreaking. And I'm sure
Oh
that's
yeah.
everybody that's out there that, you know, that has loved ones that are, you know. So, I mean, you know, I look at it as more of a blessing that she didn't suffer and she didn't go through all this and stuff like that. She ended up, you know, going basically being peaceful and stuff like that. It's, you know, it's just, it is what it is as far as losing a parent. I know that's, you know, I'm not trying to get down anybody with that. But at the
Yeah.
same time, you know, we just want to make sure everybody stays healthy. That's, you know,
Yes.
what, you know, it also, so with the live streaming, and I'm guessing that because you guys are doing this in the current aspect of it, do you consider this kind of a leeway to like, and I'm sure you watch people doing the live streaming, and you're catching people doing the mistakes that they're doing on live streaming.
But you know what? It's not only we catch their mistakes when we're mixing. We catch our mistakes. I know I caught myself. I screwed up because sometimes I'm like, damn it. And I even tell them, hey, it's live.
It's like
We're not perfect.
No. What I mean by mistakes is not doing like a wrong mix. I'm talking about where you're gonna get flagged or you're gonna get shut
Oh!
down.
what?
That's what
Or
I'm
where they're
talking
gonna
about.
When you know that they're gonna or a certain track they're gonna play because that's it's like for us, like we
He's
told
gonna
them,
get shut down.
we know what not to play, and we're like, damn, I played this one again. I know I'm gonna get shut down.
Yeah.
Or even them, they're gonna get shut down. Like maybe 10-15 minutes they're into it already. That's it.
That's
They're
it.
done.
They're done.
They're done.
They're done.
And then after that, you get your quarantine or your timeout from Facebook that you can't go back on for about another week or maybe a month.
I've been there. I've been
Oh
there.
wow.
Yeah, you
They
get
give you a
shut out.
slap and like a rest and goes, no, you cannot do that. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Then you shut them for about a week. I'm like,
Well, what do you think? Why do you think I'm very happy doing this show? Because you know I'm not gonna get shut down. In fact, you know, I'm gathering that a lot of times too is also because of the amount of views that I'm getting and stuff like that. I think that you know I don't know if you know on Facebook there's a quality. You can check your quality of your page and stuff like that. So I'm in pretty good standings and stuff like that. So as long as you keep it in that green and not in the red, you won't get flagged and you won't. So I cleaned it up a lot. I was doing the live streaming as well, and I stopped doing the live streaming because I wanted to make sure this show was more important than me live streaming. Yeah, honestly, this show is important. The time's coming to an end. Is there any last words you want to say to the people out there, to everybody that join in or will join in? Anything you want to say?
shout out to everybody. Happy birthday to my stepdaughter Alejandra Munguia. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday to her and to my wife. She's at home. She told me you better be your brother's house. She thinks I'm something else. She got me on leash, but that's okay.
All I gotta say is, you know, thank you for this. Thank you for this opportunity, Angelo. It's like it's great. I was looking forward to this, and it was exciting, and everything. And you can say, like my shout outs, if I say anything, is basically Oscar Davila, DJ Mago, Vince Vasquez from back in the Reventon, Ricky Rats also, and then a special shout out to my girl, Lisa Realmo. You know, I've been with her for 11 months and we're having good time all together. And then happy birthday, quick shout out to Baby Sal, because it's going to be tomorrow, I think, I forgot, or past. Yeah. This with the DJs and everybody. And thank you once again, you know, for keeping us in mind for this show is one-on-one. You know, it's been a great opportunity, great way for us to express ourselves as DJs and stuff.
One thing, thank you. That you can say that the knowledge that people will know. I want to be known. Here I am. We've been there, done that. That's all we could say. We did history, like you said, in the archives. That, and if you want to hook me up, why don't you call me up if you want the pictures? I got tons of pictures. I got the other ones too. Remember the one I just quick, the one picture that he told me she wasn't wearing any underwear. How'd you know? Focus on it. I'm like, oh. Remember the one with the red dress?
Was that at Volcan, right?
Yeah,
That was at Volcan on the second floor. I think I know which one he's talking about.
I got him.
Yeah, but thank you again, Fred.
Marshall actually thanked me one day. I gave him a picture. He was here. This was before her wife and him, before they got married.
Him and Priscilla got married.
Before they got married, he goes, here, there's something that I got to give you. Would you get this? Remember, I used to be the photographer? Yeah. So that's when I got all the pictures.
We'll later send them to you. Don't worry, Preto. Okay?
Please, thank you.
I'll send them up.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I know all of us would love to see those, you know, including Lalo. We'd love to see that.
Hey, I don't know how much he weighs now, but back then he was a lightweight. So it's like nothing, just walk out
Oh,
the door.
good. He weighs exactly the same. He has not changed one bit.
Does he?
We all gained weight.
Lightweight
We all gained weight. He stayed the same. So trust me.
I'm not fat. I'm just fluffy. There you go.
All right,
I'm
guys.
fluffy. That's how I am.
All right, guys. Thank you very much, everybody. This is the Front Door Show. We'll see you all tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye.